forming a duty that a reduction of corruption to the barest minimum? And that's a very solid question, because I've seen situations, I've experienced it myself. I've seen situations, have heard stories, and even though I can't say some of the things that I've heard and I've seen, the truth is sometimes we have overzealous security officials, overzealous agents of the agency who sometimes take this too far. But I'd like to get your thoughts on this one. Many a times when people act in a corrupt manner, you'd see agencies come out and say they are not our men. They are not our men. But just like the police, we're seeing a new style of leadership in our security agencies, where they are not taking responsibility and are looking at punitive measures to ensure that the system is sanitized. Are we now entering the era of strong institutions, ordinary men, or maybe I should say stronger institutions, weaker men? Are we entering that season, or is this all a media show so that people can say, oh, the leadership is doing some great work, the leadership is doing some fantastic work, and so let's let our guards down, so to say? But let's move on now to the next one. I'd like to get your thoughts on that story. It's Friday, remember, so you could call in and tell me what you think about the EFCC's operations, most especially in your locality in Rivers State. How has it been recently? I would remember how they would break into people's apartments, like, commando style and all. Do we still have all of those being experienced? Or do we have more civil approaches that are being used to tackle corruption? Because, there's corruption in our society. We cannot argue that. We have a lot of fraudulent activities happening. We cannot argue that. But do we have a more compliant approach, a more professional approach in the discharge of our duties as EFCC officials? If you get the point, I like an answer from you when I open the phone lines. All right, so let's go to the next one. The next one has got to do with the president saying that he understands that subsidy removal has a tough impact on Nigerians. You heard me right. The president coming out to say he understands that subsidy removal has a tough impact on Nigerians, and he's saying and he's asking, just give me a little more time. It's brighter at the end of the tunnel, he says. Yeah, there is not just light, it's brighter. It's very bright, so just keep holding on. So let's go to the Vanguard again, where I did see this story. The caption, impact of fuel subsidy removal tough on Nigerians. Tinubu, President Bola Tinubu yesterday acknowledged that the impact of the removal of fuel subsidy was very tough on Nigerians and has affected every sector of the economy, including education, but assured that the future remained bright. Tinubu, who is a visitor to the University of Lagos, UNILAG, spoke at the 54th convocation ceremony of the university. Now, the president spoke as Catholic bishops of the Owerri ecclesiastical province lamented that the removal of petroleum subsidy, current naira scarcity, and declining value of the nation's currency has raised the cost of living, created dismay and panic among the citizenry. Now, the bishops also urged improved security and kicked against the blessing of homosexual or same-sex marriages. But Tinubu, who was represented by the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, SAN, said the impact could be seen in the high cost of living that has affected parents, guardians, students, and other Nigerians. We took some life-changing decisions, including the removal of fuel subsidy and single exchange rate of the naira. There is no doubt that the actions have led to Nigerians, including parents, guardians, and even students, experiencing some discomfort. The decisions affected the education sector, with parents paying more for education, among others. I can assure you that the pains will soon be over and that the future is bright. For the education sector, we are assuring you that no Nigerian child will drop out of school. It is in the view of that we brought back the school feeding program and also introduced the student loan scheme. The loan is repayable 2 years after a beneficiary has completed the mandatory 1 year National Youth Service Corps Scheme, NYSC. We are also not taking higher education for granted, and that is why we recently took some decisions like removing higher institutions from the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPPIS. We are also on the agenda for autonomy for universities. So basically, you said, everybody, I get you, I understand. Even if it was basically, referring to the educational sector, I think it also had a wider meaning. It had a larger meaning, which is the future is bright. And it's a very simple question I want to ask you on the big stories today. Does this put inside of you some kind of belief? Because I do know, I live in Nigeria, so I should know. Due to the cost of living, due to how much rent costs, how much energy costs, how much tuition fees cost, how much having to provide the basic necessities for your family cost you. I understand what you're going through, and some of you are in that mental place where you're asking yourself, is the future really bright? Sometime last week, was it by this time last week, I remember we were talking with a psychiatrist from the UPTH, and we were talking about how we can make our mental state solid, how we can overcome some of the mental issues that we have been faced with. And we all agreed that day that some of the mental issues as a result of the cost of living, the current economic state. You would remember the lady who committed suicide, one of the workers of a commercial bank, somewhere in Lagos, sometime last week. So you remember all of that, and we all agreed. However, he's saying, hey guys, just chill, just be patient. The future is bright. For someone like me, I've been hearing that for almost 4 decades now. I've been hearing the future is bright, the future is bright, the future is bright. At some point, they told me I was the future. I don't know if I'm that bright now. They say the children are the future, right? And the future is bright. They told us that. I don't know. But hey, what do you make of that statement? I'd like to hear from you. What are you thinking? But let's move now to the final big story. Then we go for a very quick commercial, and then we come back, and then we open the phone lines. And the last story has got to do with illegal refining again. Illegal refining again in Rivers State, and it's becoming a sing-song on the show, because I think the day before we talked about it, yesterday we talked about it, sometime last week we talked about it, the beginning of the year we talked about it, in the month of December we talked about it, I think in the month of October we talked about it as well. What did we talk about? Illegal refining in the Niger Delta, and more particularly in Rivers State. And at the time, the focus was in the Calabar region, where I come from. So they wouldn't say I'm trying to, talk down on my region. But, there were a lot of activities, like we call it in our parlance. There were a lot of pull-fire activities. And the army, or rather now the Air Force, concentrated air bombing in that area. And some of you said, oh, why are they bombing the place? They should know. And there were a lot of arguments and debates at the time. But the truth is, I've explained over and over again several times that the bunkering activities, it's affecting the larger economy. And when the larger economy is affected, you and I are also affected, because the government cannot generate enough revenue, because oil is our main source of revenue. And I also did say that well, you know what, let's just go for the commercial. When we come back, we'll continue on this.
Are you into business and sales, or
It's gone past the hour of 3. You're listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts. I am Kalada Korobatibo, and we're looking at the big stories. We are looking at the third big story for today. And let's see. Interesting. I was talking about illegal refining in Rivers State. On today's Friday. On Wednesday, you and I, we talked about 83. Was he on Friday? Was he on Wednesday? I think so. We talked about 83 illegal refining sites, right? That's what we talked about. Discovered in 1 week, in the past 1 week, 83 of them. Yesterday, one of the headlines said, can I find where I wrote that down? Just give me a minute there. One of the headlines said that 5,686 illegal refineries were destroyed from 2021 up until yesterday. 5,000, I beg your pardon, 686 illegal refineries. Now, this debate will continue to go on, will continue to linger. There are some of you who say that you don't blame the boys, because the boys are trying to make do with what they have. The government is not doing enough. But I always ask the question, the government's inadequacies, are they enough reasons for you and I to go into to dabble into crime? If yes, then would Nigeria be a civilized place if every one of us were to partake in crime? And that's a very solid question, right? Because when I look at it, I've explained this narrative over and over. We need enough oil production to be able to boost our national revenue, to be able to also ensure that the refineries work efficiently. Remember, there was that narrative. I don't know how true the narrative was, but it was said, by the Dangote's group, that the reason their refineries could not come on stream at some time around October, November was because NNPC did not have the capacity to supply crude oil. So we need to look at all of these things and go back to the drawing board. And by the way, we see that the multinationals are divesting and they're leaving the shores. How will this impact the region? Will the region become forgotten, forsaken in the next 10 years? We should be planning. And this reiteration is so that we can call the leaders, to call the boys in the creek, to call the boys in the bushes, to call the boys and to tell them that we understand. We all are going through the ordeal. We don't have enough food to eat. Our lands are polluted. Our waters are polluted. We understand that. But this way may not be the way, because two wrongs don't make a right. You may just be worsening the situation. So when you tap all, and in the next 10 years there is nothing left to tap because we don't have functional companies producing oil or involving in oil production, what then do you think these boys will do? The insecurity in the area will become very much what's it called now? Uncontrollable. So it's time for the leaders in the Niger Delta and Rivers State, to be precise, to get up and, take the bull by the horn. Yet again, I understand it's a dicey situation. The government is not doing enough for the Niger Delta. We want more. We want more development, given the severity of damage done to the area as a result of oil production. We understand all of that stuff. We do. But I'm asking and I'm saying, is this bunkering activities the way to go? Is it the way to go? Because I'm looking at the headline: Army uncovers Rivers illegal reservoirs with 3 million naira stolen crude. It's a disservice to the nation. And tomorrow we want the country to do amazingly. We want to go, oh, Tinubu is not working. Oh, Buhari is not working. Oh, Fubara is not working. Oh, who else is there? Oh, the people are not working. Doye Diri is not working. And no, it's not. Uno, I think that's his name, right? It's not working. We're so very, very quick to blame the government, but we, the people, we also have a role to play. Anyways, enough of me, analyzing and ranting and all of that. The report says the headquarters of the 6th Division Nigeria Army, Port Harcourt, has uncovered 14 crude oil reservoirs containing about 3 million liters of stolen crude in Odagwa, Eche. In Eche local government area of Rivers State, the army said the reservoir had 49 boilers used in refining stolen crude in the area. The General Officer commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Port Harcourt, Major General Jamal Abdulsalam, while conducting newsmen around the reservoirs located in the thick forest of Odagwa, Eche on Thursday, said he wanted Nigerians to know what is happening. Now, there's another side to this. So the boys are even refining this crude oil. Some say they are the ones responsible for the availability of diesel and kerosene. But how cheap are these items? Even with, one, the crude oil is stolen, right? And all they have to do is set up their refining site, which costs a lot of money, I agree. But they have to set up the refining site, and then they refine. And yet it's still expensive. So to what gain are you supporting? To what gain? What is your gain? It's a simple question. Anyways, the phone lines are open. I know some people will argue with me on this one. It's good, it's fair. We get to exchange ideas. That's what makes the conversation healthy, and that's what causes development in an area where the people are able to debate about things and exchange ideas. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923 0003. Those are the call numbers. Let's get your thoughts on this one. For WhatsApp, 0809-0306416. Which of the big stories piqued your interest? I'd like to hear. Is it the first one that has got to do with EFCC saying they are embarrassed by the fact that their own personnel, their own investigators are, entangled in corruption, and they're supposed to be fighting corruption? Oh my. And then the second one has got to do with Tinubu, represented by the Minister for Education, Professor Taher Maman, saying Tinubu understands that the impact of fuel subsidy removal is tough on Nigerians. And the third one has got to do with oil bunkering in Niger Delta, Rivers State to be precise. And I'm wondering what your take is on any of the big stories. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Nicholas Erasmus says, greetings, Canada. On Mr. Tinubu's statement over the removal of subsidy affecting Nigerians, it is hypocritical. He's aware of such, and he went on to remove subsidy without putting things in order. I don't believe in his policies to bring Nigerians out of poverty. This one says, good afternoon, man of the people. The future is only bright for the children of the politicians alone, not for the poor man's children. I keep asking myself when you're going to get things right in this dear country. That's from Comrade Gospel from MOR. Comrade, thank you. This one says, LOK, on the EFCC matter, I really don't know what to believe in Nigeria anymore until I see the oppressors in our country face the law squarely. I had a case of 1.5 million naira fraud, but only got back 450,000 naira. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at your case. I mean, it's such a terrible situation, really terrible situation. But then you said, and the office was expecting something from me back. It's like 3 to 5 years past the last remittance of my money from the fraudster, and no one contacts me unless I do the following up. So, like I said earlier, if the culprits are punished squarely, regardless your position in power or the society, then I'll believe the anti-graft agencies are working. Until then, let's just watch and see. I've got Clinton. Clinton is calling from Bori, I beg your pardon. Clinton, welcome. Good to hear from you.
Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, the president meant it's 1 week I relate to as Nigerians, but when you say these things and we still not see any change, I think it means that just falling on the ground. Because Nigeria, you remove price subsidy, and you know that the impact that Nigerians are feeling now, the impact of this mover, is harsh on Nigerians. And we have been patient. We have been very patient on our own part. Then the politicians, the leaders, those in power, are not making any sacrifice. I think it's really not fair. So now you've removed subsidy. Monies have been saved from subsidy. How do we benefit now as Nigerians? Should we continue to be patient, Canada? I don't know. Because the government is going to 1 year. Okay, let's say it's still a virgin government. Let's hope that these monies have been removed, have been saved rather.
But Clinton,
we'll go into the industry, industrializing the country, creating jobs for the youth, better healthcare.
Clinton, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Canada.
There is this confidence the Tinubu's administration uses when he talks about the future being bright. Should that not instill confidence in you?
It does. It does. Actually, I voted for this government, Canada.
Oh,
I believe in this government. But other Nigerians are not politicians, because if you go to the street, if you go to the common man on the street, and you tell him about Tinubu going to be better, you know the response you get. So keep waiting, and we are waiting too long. Let him start rolling the programs that he has for Nigerians.
Okay.
I know it talks for this confidence that Nigeria things will be better, but we are still waiting. We should not wait this long again.
Okay.
Then, on the EFCC, the truth is that I don't see these branch agencies as doing their work. But for me, it's selective. The date that will still inform Nigerians being brought to book, that is when we know that these people are serious. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Ernest. Ernest from Berkeley. Sorry about that for keeping you that long. Do call back if you can. Let's get your take on what we are talking about. Let's see. Let's read some other messages. This one says, good afternoon, Kalada. Unfortunately, there is no Nigerian you will approach now on the street that will tell you he or she cannot rule Nigeria. Ask them. They will tell you just learn how to sugarcoat your speech before and after you have been given an appointment, then you are good to go. The FCC chairman forgot that former chairman Bauer also said a lot of things, as in clamping down on looters almost as we speak. Same commission had put Bauer behind bars for corruption charges. I don't think they had. I think Bauer is still facing investigations. Let's see. I think DSS is the one in charge of that. This one says they should be able to know how to go about it instead of stealing the crude oil. Biobele Ikoroma from Ogbogoro. I don't get that part, but thank you. Azunda is calling from Ingbo Shimini. Let's take his call. What is on your mind, Azunda?
Yeah, good day, sir.
I'm listening.
I think for me, on the issue of this crude killers, they are not doing us any good at all.
Okay.
Are you aware that Nigerian energy companies, they are about to sign up because of some activities of these oil fields, and also Shell also. So for me, they are not doing us any good. And then on the one that Tinubu said, he knows about the surface and all the rhetoric. When he entered new, he promised of hitting the ground running. What is he waiting for? For some months now, he has been there. That is not what Nigerians want to hear from him. Because he was part and parcel of last administration. There is nothing he does not know about Buhari's administration. So he should have known how to go about it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Zunda. Thank you very much. I've got Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. Real Gift, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Yeah, good afternoon, Real Gift.
And I will tell you what's in my mind.
Okay, let's hear it then.
We were told that it is better to use your tongue in counting your teeth in public. That is for the EFCC. Now, he said he's embarrassed to find out. That means investigation has shown that indeed some personnel of the EFCC, they collect something we're not supposed to be their own, or they're not supposed to collect. So what is he doing with those persons to convince us Nigerians that indeed he's ready? It's not the question of telling us he's embarrassed. Even me as I speak to myself, I'm here at the shame.
Okay, you're ashamed on behalf of the EFCC, I guess.
Of course.
Okay.
Because this is the head.
Okay.
Embarrassed. What they expect me to do now? So it should, those ones they are found that indeed they don't touch something or they don't leak oil, make them to vomit the oil or make them wash their hands. As for the issue of oil theft, See, it doesn't matter how long you leave a piece of food in the water. It will never become a crocodile. The government knows what to do to put a stop to these issues. And in any case, somebody that is able to have a reservoir of 3 million liters of crude oil or diesel, that kind of person, me and you, you know what it entails financially to set up that. I'm not in support of it, but the truth is that it is they themselves, the bigger, the high and mighty, that is even more involved.
Real gift, you've just put something in my head. You've just put a thought in my head. Now, let's link this to the EFCC boss statement where he said some of his staffers are corrupt. Could it also mean that some of the people fighting, the host communities, for instance, the security agencies, for instance, could they also be? I don't know. I don't want to say it, but real gift, you get my point.
I get your point perfectly well. The question I want to ask you also, because I know there's a collaboration anyway, but the question I want to leave you with, me, is it me you will ask to know or to find out that the Reverend Father puts on the trouser under the white garment he's putting on?
Oh my.
If there is no collaboration, the fire products you see on the street, where they come from?
Okay.
Permit me to take a swim at this point in time.
All right, take a bow then. Take a bow. Best from Digima, welcome. Best, welcome. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon, Best.
You made mention of the crude oil that is going on, which is a bunker activity.
Please, Best, turn off your radio set, please, so we don't have the whole back.
All right, I will do that. Okay, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Let's get talking now.
Yes. The problem there is that our politicians are not trying.
Okay.
They cannot payment at all. The governor was in one state. No single employment was made for youth. Do you want the youth to go out of the street to start killing people, start stealing? The only alternative way for the youth to help themselves is through these bunker activities. So if the political class can help in all sectors to do employment, you will see that boys will not be reasoning of going to the street. Do you think the boys are happy? Going to the street, going to the swamp? Some of them get died there.
Best.
Some of them got bombed there.
Best, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, no, I also said to you that I understand that the government is not doing what the government should do. I mean, at the local government, the state government, or even at the federal government, there are a lot of deficits in our society. However, is that a license for everybody to go into crime? Because if everybody did go into crime, then there will be no peaceful society for us to live in.
In as much as you are living, you have to eat. And if you want to eat, you have to look for a way to eat.
But I hope
look for a way that the government start looking for you.
I hope you know, Best, that in your way to look for what to eat and you then perpetrate crime, this crude oil crime is affecting everybody, even you, who is going out there to eat, because in the nearest future there will be no oil to steal. The oil companies may not even be producing anymore. In the nearest future, we would have inflation maybe at 50-80% if we continue in this trajectory that we're traveling in.
That is the problem that the political class brought to us.
Okay.
Yes. So we are tired of them. If they can change the scenario, their mindset, if they can think right, then things will go right. The problem that we are having in this country is from the political class.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Alioze from Omuma. Oh my, I missed that one. Do call back if you can. Let's see. I've got messages. While I'm waiting for the phone lines, let's see. So it says, I'll begin to believe this APC government on student feeding program when the government begins to feed adequately and freely students of unity schools all over the country, how will you feed other people's children if you can't feed your own? Rex from Port Harcourt. But Rex, the idea is for people who are not what's the word now, passionate about going to school. It is for people who are dropouts, to entice them to come back to the classrooms. So in the northern area, most particularly in the rural areas, in the southern parts, most particularly, these are the places they want to concentrate the school feeding program. Because out of school children right now in Nigeria is somewhere around 20 million estimated. So think about it. So they're trying to bring people back to the classrooms. This one says, Kalada, Tinubu no date. Okay. Let's see. You say Kalada Tinubu need a try. God day teme. Okay. Let's see this one. Good day, Mr. Kalada Koru Batbo. Illegal refinery in River State is alarming and worrisome. Illegal refinery, alias Bofire, is causing pollution and bringing down our economy and killing of seafood and fishes. Illegal refinery also produce adulterated kerosene and fuel. Illegal refinery does not pay. We should desist from it and look for legal business and invest in it. I, Owanate Clinton West, disagree with the statement credited to President Tinubu. President Tinubu removed subsidy without an alternative. Owanate Clinton West. Richard is calling from Iba. Richard, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Hello, good afternoon, Kalada.
Yeah. Richard, welcome.
Yes, I want to dwell on the statement made by President Tinubu that he understands the impact of the fuel subsidy removal on Nigerians.
Okay.
Especially in almost all the sources of life of average Nigerians. What my concern is in area of education, especially when it comes to tertiary education. When his administration floated, he's talking about a floating student loan scheme at the expense of that is when they have increased school fees, then they are launching student loan scheme. I see that as robbing Peter to pay Paul. Why not reduce the school fees or maintain the school fees as it was before this time? Because when it comes to school fees, every student is likely to pay it. But for the loan, it's not every student that will be able to access that loan. This is my position. It is better that they reduce it and forget about the loan fee, because it's not possible for every student to access that fee. This is my position.
All right then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've got Zion from GRA. Zion, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, KD.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Let me react to the comment credited to the president. To me, I would say it's hypocritical.
Oh, really?
That comment lacks integrity.
Okay.
That comment is only shredded in political audience during campaigns. That is when you hear such comments. And the president is habitual in this issue of still talking about political campaign instead of focusing on governance. If you look at the president's speech, it's so shallow for a country like this. We shall train people. We shall provide this. We shall provide that. We shall do that. It's a political statement. In political science, it's called double speaking. Because you're not mentioning the problem. We shall. No. You are a man in office. What you should be saying is, we are doing this. We have achieved 10%. We are doing that. We have achieved 30%. In 6 months' time, you will achieve so. This is how person, a man in governance or a government that loves their people, they speak. This is the interaction they give to their people. You feel their pain when you are doing nothing. It's an indictment. You are feeling their pain. They are dying. The hardship is dead. The economy is wrecking, and you are doing this.
Zion, is it really doing nothing? Because he said, and he boldly said, the future is bright. So it means he's planting something now to reap in the future, because the future just can't on its own become bright.
The president has become a prophet in the land.
You can say that again, Zion. You can say that again, Zion.
The kingdom of God is here. Come on. You don't hear this in nations that understand democracy is all about.
Zion, I disagree. I've seen, what's his name, the UK Prime Minister come out to say the future is bright. I have seen, American president come out to say the future is bright. I have seen some world leaders come out to say the future of their country is bright. So, I mean, it's not like...
And even in your prayers, your pastor tells you the future is bright.
Okay.
This is to tell that it's a failure.
No, I don't know. I don't know if you can call him a failure. I don't know if you can call him a failure.
Countries you just cited that the future is bright. They know what they are saying. Because they have calibrated 10 years from now, more Nigerians will come to their country with their money. In the next 10 years from now, more politicians from Nigeria will steal their money to come and save in their bank, and the next few days they will return few of the loot and collect the profits. They know that more Nigerians will come and invest in their country.
Okay.
They will build more
all right.
houses that would
All right. Zion, I've got to go. I've got to go, Zion. Sorry about that. This one says, good evening, or good afternoon it is. You said the people's person. It's not enough for army to uncover the stolen banks of that crude. Where will they direct the crude to, or is this the last news on the stolen crude? We are really suffering in this nation in the hands of the wicked politicians. When are we coming out of these, and who brought us in? May God help us, the innocent citizen Nazio, the comedian from Eneka. Brad is calling from Mile 1. Brad, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good evening, Mr. Batu.
It's afternoon. Why is everyone still greeting evening? It's just some minutes past 3.
Almost 10 minutes to 4.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Batu. At this point, we are still talking that we are discovered oil theft and all these illegal refineries. Is it not a shame to this country? Is it not shame to the parents of this country? Canada, if we have the kerosene at various filling stations, affordable rates, if we have the PMS at affordable rates, if we have the diesel affordable rates all over the filling station, don't you think that there shouldn't be an artisanal refinery anymore? People will not patronize artisanal refinery because they have it at all the filling stations. They can go there and get it lower than what people are getting the coal fire.
Okay.
So our government should be ashamed because at this 20th century, we're still talking about we have discovered, we have been. How many times have they discovered illegal gold mining? How many times have they dislodged illegal gold mining? Everybody wants to live with this feeding bottle. I think Nigeria should be step up their game. They should be able. The government should step up their game. It's a shame to Nigeria.
Right.
They are bringing a very big public people to this country. If they are not ready to govern the country, they should vacate the seat for people that have the mind, the technocrats to manage this country should come on board.
All right. Thank you.
When you come on board, you tell us there is hope. Which hope are we seeing?
All right. Thank you very much. I've got to go now. It's almost time for the news. God's power from Eche. Welcome. Let's get your thoughts quickly, please.
I've been waiting for you.
All right. Welcome. Yes. You're here now.
This illegal refinery, you call it illegal. It's not easy to get crude and change it to those ones. What do I mean by that? Let them give them license for modular refineries, as many as they are, to make the fuel to conduct. If they can have the ability to change crude to kerosene, to fuel, and diesel, when they go for training, you send all of them for training and orientation give them license for modular refinery. You see that we're not lacking fuel. Burning those things and it's economic sabotage. And some they will steal and sell and put for their pocket. They're not helping matters like that. For me, the only thing is all of you come. We want to send you to training. Can you do it in a larger scale? They say yes. So that we can be getting it, not by smuggling and this and that doing it. There is no how you can do and burn, they will stop. What of those ones at the high sea? Come together. I don't know if you are ready for it here. Come. This state. When all of them come, you provide them and find that. Let them produce and go to the market. When we tested the testosterone and know that it's quality, they can use it and do something. Than burning and stealing and reselling and getting and feeding themselves where they are born. They don't burn anything, they sell for themselves.
All right.
Economic sabotage.
All right. Thank you very much, God's power from it. Now let's focus on messages. Let's say this one. Just say hello. So it says Calabari people don't deal on illegal bunkering activities. It's the army that are doing it. Asari Dokubo never allowed such activities in the area. Calabari people are decent people. God owns people. God they tell me we're not looking at it from an ethnic angle. When I said I talked about it, it was, and we focused on the Calabar region. It was because Digima local government area was always in the news that there was an air bombardment in that area, and illegal refineries were destroyed. So it's not about the people; it's about the location. Now, can we not always make conversations ethnic? Can we not always make it ethnic? Because it's not about the tribe; it's about the crime. This one says concerning oil bunkering, is it the boys in the bush that are the problems? Those who own those illegal lines? You do have a point. Good question. This oil theft is a chain operation. People who own reservoirs, those who own vessels, those who own the boys, and the boys who drill and cook the oil. If the federal government will be truthful, they know where they will start. Let the federal government do the needful so that those who bankroll oil theft will not see the boys to use. If our boys are meaningfully engaged, there will be no one who will risk his life cooking oil. Lady V, you have a point there. Let's see. This one says, hi, brighter future. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Okay, I think, is that where you started from? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's where you started from. There is no brighter future anything. Are you aware the USD is now sold at 1,350 naira to a dollar? That's in the black market, just so you know. He said even the Canadian dollar is now over 1,000 naira. The future is only bright for the elites and their relatives who might be connected by their elite uncles, aunts, and so on. But for the citizenry from average families, no future is bright anything for them. Canada, no worry. By 2027, Nigerians will know how far with the so-called brighter future. See common Ghana here. 1 USD in official rate is not up to 15 Ghana cities, but Nigeria, 1 USD in official rate is a whooping 800 naira or over 800 naira. You say for EFCC, Nigerians know about the bribery things already. It's not a news. What we expect the chairman to do is get all those officers involved in bribery scandals. For the bankery, the truth is that nothing at all to justify being involved in such a business. Many people have been decimated and died by making use of adulterated kerosene. This one says the oil theft in the Niger Delta is a fallout of the uninterrupted corruption resulting to massive and unrecoverable looting of our common resources at all levels and sectors of our government, and it's not going to stop anytime soon because the big players are still in charge of political and economic decisions in the country. Good evening. We said the profile business can stop when all our refineries are functional and we have enough fuel in the economy. People will no longer patronize them. They will stop. Comrade Prosper. And let's see, it's almost time for the business news. Kalada, were you expecting Tinubu to tell you the future is bleak? Newton Ikira with that one. Let's see. I can't go any further. Sorry if I did not read your WhatsApp message and your Facebook message, but this is where we step on the brakes. When we do come back, we'll continue conversations.
The latest updates, current issues, and lots more on